Hello everyone and welcome back to a Rise of Kingdom video. This is your boy Legend Ronnie, and today I'm going to talk about equipment. A lot of you are wondering, should you go full legendary equipment or epics are still working? As you're noticing on some of my commanders, I still use epic gear and quite a lot of it. I'm pretty happy with the epic gear, but most of my commanders have full legendary gear. For example, even my Guan Yu, as you notice, it has epic gear. So I want to answer you this question because I'm pretty sure many of you are thinking of drastic changes and dismantling your epic gear and just forging legendary and then just go from there, trying to have full legendary gear on your marchers so that you can place the iconic and just empower those few marchers. There is a couple of things that we need to take in consideration. And the first thing that we need to take in consideration is the amount of iconic crystals that we are able to obtain. We know that we can get 4 from this Artisan's Forge, then you can get 1 from the Lost Canyon shop, and you can get another one from the Crystal Quest. This is a total of 6. And then repeating KVK, you can get 2, 2, 2, which brings us to a really low amount of iconic crystals that we can get. We cannot know, and we don't know yet, if that Artisan's Forge will repeat, which kind of brings us to the question that we won't be able to acquire such a large amount of iconic crystals. So taking drastic measure is that really something we should do right now and just focus and have full legendary gear on our commanders, or epic will still work. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is no reason, and absolute no reason, to rush and take drastic measure. And I will say that for at least next 6 months, easy for the next 6 months, you don't have to throw away your epic gear and forge legendary. Epic gear will still have a pretty big value into the game, and I'm 100% still going to use epic gear. For example, I can show you many of my commanders that have a mix of epic and legendary, but like I said, many of my commanders have full legendary. But still, epic will have and will play a role in the future. But what can you do? You can plan for the future. So for example, I already done a video about the iconic priorities, like how you should prioritize your iconic, and definitely it's the accessories that you should do first. And I highly recommend the horns and the rings. Those are the most universals that you switch them around. Some people use dagger, they have the dagger, they have the Mora's web, and so on. But going further, you might want to check the video about the priorities on which one you should use your iconic crystals on. And planning for the future, going back to the topic of planning for the future, I would strongly recommend going for full legendary sets. And that is exactly what I plan to do for the future as well. I was on the process of refining, and right now I'm still on the process of refining. My plan was to have a full set on my Xiangyu, and was a full set on my Nebu, and have a full set on my Guan Yu, all with special talent. That was my process, and that was my plan right now. But considering that this iconic has been introduced, I will delay this now and plan something different. And that would be getting full legendary sets on my commanders. Now I know that will be pretty hard for some free-to-play low spenders, probably even medium spenders, to try to do these drastic changes. I'm pretty sure that many players, they just have 5 sets of gears and that's it. But as a plan for the future, I would definitely and recommend you, and highly recommend you, to start working 1 march at a time and just try to get full legendary sets, because with the time passing, you will also get more and more iconic crystals. Now if you get more and more iconic crystals, you will be able to empower all your legendary set. So if you have 1 march or 2 march in the future, in the next 6 months or in the next 8 months, that they are full legendary, even if they're not special talented. I mean, I'm showing you this march, but for example, if I show you my Nebu has only 2 items with special talent. So even if you have a full legendary with non-special talent, you can put iconic crystals on all those items, and then you will enhance and upgrade the power of that commanders. So if you really want something powerful on the field and try to get better and better trades, this is going to be the way. is this really hurtful, this iconic crystal that has been introduced? My opinion that this will hurt a lot the new players. So the new players that are starting now, or probably will start the game, let's say 6 months from now, when they reach Season of Conquest, they will hit a barrier, and they will hit a big barrier, because they will not have enough equipment, they will not have enough materials to empower their equipment, even though they will get iconic crystals like we are getting iconic crystals. But their problem will be that they will not have the materials to forge that many legendary. And this also comes the idea of trying to do less marches on the field. I have talked about this in many of my other videos. If you're a low spender, if you're a free to play, if you don't have the necessary equipment on your commanders, considering that these iconic crystals have been introduced, I would strongly recommend to use less marches on the field. And some of you are thinking that that is very wrong, to go with fewer marches on the field, which is not. Because think about it. If you have the best of the best equipment, you have full legendary sets on just 2 marches. I'm not going to say 3, 4, or 5, because obviously that's some high spending things. But 2 marches with full legendary gear, with the best of the best that you can master. Now, first of all, you cannot fill your hospital with 2 marches. You can control much better 2 marches. You have less hospital bills, because it's only 2 marches, so you can keep going and fighting and fighting and fighting, and you can fight for days with 2 marches. So you can also fight longer, and on the long run, your trades and your results in kills and the hospital bills should be much higher. Now, of course, in some kingdoms this will not apply. So a lot of people will say, well, this is not going to work. My kingdom, whenever we go in KVK, we fight for 4 hours, 8 hours, and after that, that's it. So if you don't go out with 5 marches to get your kills, then you won't get any kills. So that is very true. So there's situation and situation. But for the most part, trying and planning for the future on having max legendary gear, this will help you on the long run. For example, even my Sardine, as you notice, it only has 4 pieces. And I showed in many of my other videos, I showed you my other accounts. For example, my 1682 account on Cavs, I only have 2 pieces of the legendary. I go with the helmet and I go with the boots, and then I have the 4 epic. Because the epic chest, it gives you defense, and then the gloves gives attack and health, and then you have the Heart of the Saint, which gives you defense, and then the pants that give you health. So that's also a very solid option that you can go on Cavs. But in the future, even on that account, I will start doing 1 march at a time. I will try to do them with full legendary, even if I will probably abandon one of my march in the future and just do like 4 marches on the field instead of doing 5. But that's an older account, so I have a lot of materials that I can play around with and equipment that I can dismantle. But I will plan for that account as well to have full legendary sets. These full epic sets will still work, and I would give it another 6 months, which 6-8 months. That's how much I would give it to this epic gear. But in that time, my recommendation is to try to aim for as many legendary as possible, and to try to have iconic on those legendaries, because that will be the future. So this is the reason why I've done this video, just to give you an ease of mind about epic equipment. Like, is epic equipment dead now and stuff like that? No, I will still use epic equipment. And for example, in Season of Conquest, where I'm doing 7 marches, if I have to, I will still use this gear, because there is not a lot of iconic now, and I've been using this gear for a very long time. So my priority in the future would be to just have 5-6 marches with full legendary gear and iconic crystal, or on that legendary gear, if it's gonna be available enough iconic crystals until then. And now that we have this option with the iconic crystal, going with full legendary set is not going to be all that bad. For example, even for infantry, you have the 3 pieces of the set, which I have right now, and that will be 1 piece away from the 10% march speed, which means that I can do the weapon for infantry, the shield, which gives attack, and again, I'm not super happy about that. But considering the iconic crystals, which will boost the health on the accessories, the health on the pants and boots, and they will give more defense on the helmet and the chest piece. Once they have the iconic on them, I can definitely go for the weapon with the attack, and I can go for the pants with defense, and finally get on a full legendary set on infantry as well. And that will help Guan Yu a lot for the field, having the 4 pieces, so you can have an extra mobility. Now that Scipio Africanus, the legendary one, is also coming out, it's not as fast as Alexander. Alexander has 30% flat march speed. Scipio Africanus has a condition, being outside the lion's territory, for an extra march speed. So this 10% march speed will definitely help out if you just want to one infantry march on the field like Guan Yu and Scipio, or will also help you out if you want to do Guan and Leo. Some players will plan to do that, or they are already using that. For Cavs, the Sacred Dominion is an option. You can go with the set one, and that's something I plan to do for my other Cav marches. But right now I forged this one, and I plan to go for the special talent on it as well. And I will refine it once I start entering SOC, and I will be able to get more blueprints, because I want one Cav march to have the best of the best. And in the future I will do the helmet, the Pride of Khan, which gives a lot more defense. But as a regular Cav march, you don't necessarily need those Season of Conquest items. You can go for something like regular items. You can go for the regular Cav set, the 4 pieces, and you can do the weapon. But the pants, you have to do the legendary ones, so you can get a little bit more health. So that I would definitely advise you to do. Even though if you do 6 pieces, it gives you defense. So it's not that a big of a loss of not doing 6 pieces. I would rather go for the health pants over the attack pants from the set. Archers, the full set is a very solid option to go with if you want to do the Season of Conquest weapon and the Season of Conquest helmet. You can definitely go for that. It will help out its extra stats if you get them with special talent. But in my books, this set, this 6 pieces of set for archers, is really solid. 3 items give you attack, and archers do require attack. I really like to stack a little bit of attack on archers. I feel that they are the only ones that benefit the most from the attack compared to the other 2. And as part of Trajan, well, the Poo Trajan, what he will get is gonna be 4 pieces of the legendary set. Even though I'm super unhappy of giving him an attack weapon, he's not a damaging commander, he is a support commander. So I definitely need to think that one through. But if I really get to that many iconic crystals and it's Trajan time, which is the last one, by the way, any leadership marches that I would want to empower with iconic crystal, those will be the last marches that I would ever do. But if it really comes to that, then I'll probably do the legendary shield for Trajan and just put iconic on it, so you can get the extra stats and the extra boosts. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. This is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.